Broadcasting live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios in Milwaukee. Alongside Josh DiMaggio, here's Ben Brust.
Live from the amazing, wonderful Potawatomi Casino Hotel Sportsbook, it is the Weekly Wager with Ben Brust and Josh DiMaggio. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line, because we always want to hear from you. It is opening day eve. There is a baseball game tonight, but opening day, keyword day, is tomorrow, especially for your Milwaukee Brewers. A big topic of conversation is the disrespect that I ultimately fall for, and a lot of us fall for, each and every single year. The ESPN.com MLB writers, 27 of 30 of them picked the Chicago Cubs to win the NL Central. 3 of them picked the Milwaukee Brewers. And in the end, Jesse Rogers writes, it's Milwaukee's division until it's not.
Chicago's division until it's not.
No, right? It's Milwaukee's division until it's not.
Maybe I misread. I know what you're speaking of.
No, I promise you, because I read it verbatim on air earlier on Kyle Brust and Nortman, and it was like, well, why'd you just write all about the Cubs and 27 people pick the Cubs and then say it's Milwaukee's division until it's not?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like over the past 7 to 8 seasons, we've spent a lot of time having to watch people say things about the Brewers that just end up being historically, like, all the advanced metrics and the projections they do, never close. Never in the range.
No.
For whatever reason, those little formulas and algorithms, and as an algorithm guy who likes a nice fancy number to sort of sum things up, they never get the Brewers right.
The Brewers have not lost more than 86 games since 2016.
Yeah.
Think about that. And their over-under line is 85.5. And so you have the regression of 11 games that you could go through this season and still hit the over. Plus, you don't have to, I mean, like, again, regressing from 97, probably going to happen. I also just hate the conversation around the Cubs. They swapped Kyle Tucker for Bregman, and they brought a lot of guys back, and they're talking about their guys in a way that the Brewers aren't being talked about, when on the national broadcast and during the World Baseball Classic, all of the players and the managers weren't talking about PCA. They were talking about Bryce Terang.
Yeah, Bryce Terang became the guy that they couldn't keep out of the lineup. They had an idea, I think, going into it. Him and Gunnar were kind of going to trade out. They're going to figure it out. And then it became, we need Bryce Terang's bat every single day because he's been that good. We don't have the Churio talk of, is this guy going to elevate in his 21-year-old season? Is he going to blossom into the guy that was the one of the highest prospects in all of baseball? There's no talk about the pitching lab and the young guys that they have coming up, and what happens every single year where they find some diamond in the rough who ends up being like a horse all year long. Like, none of that's a conversation. Like, shouldn't Miz, based on what we've seen him be in the, well, that's a fun Cy Young long shot there. There's a guy who could potentially become one of the next big things that everybody's talking about.
Inning restriction would make me stay away from the potential Cy Young.
Yeah, I mean, potentially, but I don't know what he's, like, I don't know what his innings restriction's going to be. I don't know if they've told us that yet. I think they kind of keep it a little on purpose, but I mean, they used him in giant leverage spots, and he delivered. I felt like we watched a maturation there and the next step in the playoffs.
Yeah, you can't just talk about experience until you live it, and he lived it in the biggest moments of a rivalry series in the playoffs against the Cubs and pitched well in all those moments. And again, Kyle Harrison, Brandon Sproat, they're not being talked about at all.
Do you recall, so we've been doing some form of a radio program for 7 years now?
Just about, yeah.
7 years.
7 years.
I feel like we've been talking about this specific bet and the over on the Brewers win total for at least 5 of them. And it feels like every single year, except for the hater year, we've been dead on saying bet the over.
Yes, now that I think about it, every year we've talked about this exact same thing, and I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, and I'm having the same conversation.
The thing that happened now, though, is that win total is rising. It used to be in the
78.
Yes, in the high to mid 70s, and every time we're going,
they can win 84 games.
They can be slightly above 500.
Yes.
Like that.
Craig Counsell can lead this team to a better than above 500 year.
Right. And it feels like that's been the story. And the number is now trickled up 3 consecutive seasons pretty significantly, especially for a team who hasn't really added a whole lot if you look in terms of what people get excited about in terms of trades and free agency. But the number just keeps climbing because every single year, everyone sets
keeps
a bar
climbing.
too low.
I'm sorry, Josh, but keeps climbing is also not representative of the truth in a way. Because last year, we talked about how it was 83.5, and when I went in and put my bet in, 2 weeks later is at 84.5.
Yeah.
So to think that it closed last year at 84.5 before the season, and it went up 1 game after winning 97 games, bringing the majority of your bats and relievers back, and having the pitchers that in the pitching lab that you can trust, and the investments that they made after moving on from Freddie Peralta, that you have not just the 5 that are probable, but 3 or 4 more that could potentially start before May.
Yes.
Because the same 5 that they started with last year wasn't the same 5 they ended with at the end of the year as well.
No, and I mean, that's certainly not going to be the case, especially with the way pitchers' health can be finicky. But there's a handful of guys that are going to be in the minor leagues for the Brewers that would probably be starters on a lot of other different teams. It's just the Brewers have their guys who they think are going to be the best. I'm sure we're going to see. Hopefully, we don't see quite as many as last year because that makes it unnecessarily more difficult than it needs to be.
Yes.
But we're definitely going to see some of those guys that got sent down here. I'm even thinking there's a chance we see Fisher, the first-round pick, at some point this season. He hit a monster shot off of one of the best relievers alive. He was awesome.
I think it was 102.
Yeah, he was awesome against in the World Baseball Classic as well. Like there's a lot of talent here, and there's a lot of talent that is going to be making a really good
21
case.
years old. And if you remember, if we're talking about third base specifically, I guess, hang on, is he first or third? I can't remember.
I believe they think he's going to be a third baseman. That's his projection.
Vinny Capra started at third base.
Oh, yeah.
They ended with Caleb Durbin, who came in a trade.
Uh-huh.
So,
who they then sent out, which my grandfather
Rengifo was on the Angels last year, projected third base starter.
Yep.
He's not that great, but he's not going to hurt your lineup. He does have some potential. Like, again, he's not a bad baseball player by any means, but it doesn't mean it's his for the rest of the year just because he's starting there.
Absolutely not. There's probably 3 or 4 guys that you'd say are safe. That's Turang, Contreras, Jackson, and then after that,
Sal,
I would say so too. But I also think if Sal has a really tough time, which I don't expect him to, he's proven to be a solid starter. But
I mean, he's a Gold Glover. It's hard to take him off the field.
Yeah, it is. But I think if there's just so much talent there, you can mix and match and give guys breaks and. But yeah, there's a lot of depth here and a lot of guys that you think could probably push for playing time.
Soren, on his way to learn ministry, is calling Chris. If you can give him a holler, 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talking text line. He wants to talk baseball and maybe make one jab at Josh DiMaggio, so we'll let that slide. Look, I think we also can talk about how Contreras is probably being underlooked because of the finger injury last year, and he was a Silver Slugger the year before, and he's not getting the attention that I think he deserves as well. You could literally pick 4 to 5 guys that you want to attach your name to in terms of, like, this is my guy this year, and I think you have a strong case that any 5 or 6 of those guys can have a Bryce Turang type moment where it pops and you go, oh wow, they have something more than I thought they did.
Yeah, I've been looking at the futures in the MVP bet, and how fun would it be to be able to place a bet on Bryce Terang to be a potential MVP? And then you remember that Shohei Ohtani is minus money.
Yeah, to begin the year.
Which is
what's Skeens on Cy Young?
Skeens for Cy Young is plus 250. Tarek Skubal is plus 350 in the NL, and Shohei Ohtani to win National League MVP is minus 117. The next closest.
I think you meant Skubal in the AL.
Yes, sorry. And then Juan Soto is the next closest at plus 750.
Pass. Take a flyer on like somebody else that you think could have a Cal Raleigh type resurgence.
The only case you can make is Shohei Ohtani has an injury and misses significant time. Other than that, it's just going to be his until he shows decline.
That is fair. Let's go to our guy Soren on the Carbless Talk and Text line. Soren, the P1 of the weekly wager, you're up.
Hey, guys. I have something to add about the pitchers, but what an awful take from Joshua. Sal Frelick is not leaving the field. I could tell Ben's disgust when he said, that's a Gold Glove winner. That is a Gold Glove winner. That guy's never leaving the field. Don't say that ever again,
Agree,
Joshua.
Soren.
The one thing.
Agree.
He's average mid.
Yeah. The one concern I do have about the pitchers, you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. The one concern I do have about the pitchers, though, is I don't know if I fully trust Mizorowski yet. I don't know yet. And with Priester out for 2 months, that scares me a little bit. I don't know if I just have a little weird feeling that the start of the season is going to go not totally as a plan, but hopefully Mizorowski gets in a groove. Hopefully he becomes, a 2 ERI guy, and we get some of those new additions in there, and they do good. But
Two? Yep. I appreciate it, Soren. Two?
Just so we can mark our territory clearly here, I'm the Mizorowski believer, the phenom, the guy you've never seen before. And on Soren's side is Sal Frelick. I would just leave it up to the people. Whose side do you want to be on? The side Alex Strofe? The side Alex Strofe is on with Sal Frelick, or my side with The Miz, who's going to be pumping 104? I'll leave it up to everyone else in the audience.
Yeah, but he has him at 2 ERA, so he's trying to dip his toes in both water. We'll continue on here on the Weekly Wager with some Brewers opportunities that are there on the sports book. You can go to the kiosk, you can go online and check out your bets, but come here to place those at Potawatomi Casino Hotel's amazing sports book. We continue on the Weekly Wager and a lot of NCAA tournament basketball games coming up Thursday, Friday. All that and more next.
More bets coming up. This is the Weekly Wager on 94.5 ESPN.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Saturn Lounge, we know if your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform, not just exist. Your storytelling would inspire, not fall flat. Your integrated campaigns would create impact, not excuses. There'd be no refreshing dashboards, no waiting on a report to explain what happened. It's time to generate quality leads and turn them into customers. Let's make it happen with Saturn Lounge, your marketing partner for clear, measurable results. Visit us today at SaturnLounge.com. When marketing works, it shows.
When Milwaukee families need help, the United Way is there, reducing barriers to employment, providing transportation, safe and stable homes, and more for over 192,000 people.
And this month, Cunis is proud to stand beside them. Hi, I'm Bill Eater with Cunis of Milwaukee.
And I am Tony Avery with the United Way of Greater Milwaukee and Waukesha County. During the Cunis Drives Milwaukee 1000 event, they're donating $100 to the United Way for every vehicle sold.
Our goal this month is simple. 1,000 vehicles across 3 Cunis Milwaukee dealerships.
For a $100,000 donation to the United Way of Greater Milwaukee and Waukesha County.
To help us reach our goal, you'll find incredible deals on all new and pre-owned vehicles at our 3 locations in Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Hope Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall.
Be a part of Driving Milwaukee Forward at the Cunis Drives Milwaukee 1000 event.
Start your search today at cunismke.com. That's cunismke.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free in 24 months with no payments or interest plus $500 off. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Join the Brewers series against the White Sox March 26th, 28th, and 29th. Grab this year's first giveaway on Saturday the 28th, a replica of American Family Field for the first 25,000 fans, courtesy of American Family Insurance. On the 29th, it's Kids Cheer Free. Buy an adult terrace seat and receive a free ticket for kids ages 14 and under. On Sunday the 29th, the first 5,000 kids get a drip necklace giveaway. Grab your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night 04 Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
March into big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Refresh your home this season with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, beautiful new siding, or a stunning bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during their March savings event. But this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
This is the Weekly Wager live from Potawatomi Sportsbook on 94.5 ESPN and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Let's take a look at the game tomorrow. The Weekly Wager. Ben Bruss, Josh DiMaggio with you.
You haven't looked at your phone, have you?
Oh, God.
We have a guest.
We have somebody joining us on the Carbless Talk and Text line. Alex Strofe, you're on with Josh and Ben.
Hi, guys. First time, long time. Love the show. And I must say, I'm not walking the dog near the Bronze Fonz right now. Every time Soren calls in, who's the number one caller of the show, without a doubt, his gospel just gets better and better. Amen. Josh, you suck.
That's all you got for me?
Oh, God. Go back to walking the dog. Go back to walking the dog.
Your best defense of self-real, because that's why you're calling, because I uttered the words and didn't give him enough glowing of a report, is you suck.
Yep.
The 12 home run hitter is you suck. Slugs 405.
It'll be more than 12 this year. You know better than that. Because he couldn't even get to double digits prior to last year. He jacked that puppy up to 12 after hitting, by the way, a very clutch, well-timed home run in that playoff series against the Mets the year prior. That number will be more than 12. I'd bet you anything on that.
I'm sure you could find that here at Potawatomi at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I'm currently occupied by an 11-pound toy Aussie doodle, so I can't look it up. But let me know what his home run count is.
He sounds like
I'll
a caller.
take the over.
Yes, he does.
You don't sound like a host. You don't sound like a producer. You sound like a caller. He also sounds like someone on Twitter. Strofe's insult to me the other day was, "You're only famous because you hit a half-court shot against Michigan." The lowest hanging fruit in the
you're
world.
really hanging on to that. I haven't said that to you in weeks.
That's not. Chris, get him off. The reason why I'm saying that is because then he referred to you as you suck.
Yeah,
he became the you suck guy.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna hit more than 12. Why? What have you seen in spring training? What's going to change? Did he put on 20 pounds of muscle? Did they do a whole write-up on Brewers.com?
Has he you could even, I'm such a baseball dork, if you tell me his launch angles improved.
Yes, the exit velocity over spring training.
I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. I hadn't seen that.
You suck. So let's do some...
And here's the thing. I would love Self-Frelick to be as good as I think some people think he is. It would be great for me. I'd love it. I'm a little suspicious of the skill set. That's it.
That's fair. Again,
guys like him typically don't work.
Yes, but what I will give him is he does bat pretty well lefty-lefty.
Yes, he's a gamer.
Which makes him serviceable beyond just playing against right-handed pitchers and using his glove. So he is an everyday guy. What I want to do here is you are going to have to lay a lot of money, minus 190 to win 100. 190 to win 100 on the money line. But Shane Smith, the rookie last year for the White Sox, is getting the ball against Miz tomorrow. The over-under is at 8 right now. The Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 120. If I was going to bet anything, I'm betting the Brewers minus 1.5 against the White Sox, who have a lot of young talent, quote unquote, that they're trying to get going in the majors. But the first thing that caught my eye was batter home runs.
And that's always the most fun.
It's the most fun on opening day. I remember being in our suite at American Family Field, and somebody went to Potawatomi, placed the bet, and he was like, I don't know, I think it's going to be this pitch. And Yelly did go yard on that very pitch. I would stay away from Jackson Chourio plus 440 and Yelich 510. I would stay away from William Contreras. I don't know how you don't look at Vaughn and Terang at plus 600 and plus 650 and put $20 on each and get a fun bet for a potential return on what I think is two guys that hit with more consistent power, especially what we've seen of late from Terang.
The interesting one to me that caught my eyes, because he typically wouldn't be a guy you'd see at this number, was Jake Bauers at plus 575. That obviously has to do with
his spring training rake job.
The absolute torrid pace he's been on of hitting home runs. I think he's probably earned himself a start and some at-bats here early in the season with how well he's played. But I think in most places, a guy like Jake Bauers would be more towards the plus 750, plus 900. But it is a fun one to root for, especially if you do think he's got potential to carry over. But the way Bryce Terang played in some of the biggest moments possible over the World Baseball Classic, that one is a lot of fun. And Andrew Vaughn is just the guy who, big moments, he's there. He somehow went from a guy that was basically a throwaway addition after, was it Savali demanded a trade because he wanted to be a starter. And then for 3 months, he just got big at-bat, big hit, big home run after the other, and it was a nonstop thing. Is opening day and sort of the way he's going to be, he's thinking, I have another good season. I'm making a lot of money.
Totally.
If I come out and ball out this season, and
got to prove that last year wasn't just
it wasn't just a fluke,
a short, because he wasn't great throughout the entire season, but he had really good chunks of the middle portion and a little bit late.
Yeah, I mean, his numbers ended up, with what he came to the Brewers and where he ended, it seemed like an almost impossible turnaround when you look at the year he had in totality, because he was one of the worst hitters in all of baseball by the time he became a Milwaukee Brewer, and it was very much not that.
Oh, plus he's playing his old team.
Yeah, and that's a fun one where he can say, you guys really screwed up. The problem isn't me, and it wasn't me. It's whatever you guys got going on with the Jerry Reinsdorf and the Chicago White Sox.
You've actually talked me out of Vaughn, not because of anything you said, just because I started thinking a little deeper. It's Terang and Bauers as the lefties against the righty that I like, the righty-lefty matchup versus the righty-righty, because I'm pretty sure Vaughn's splits were incredibly better against lefties.
Yeah, and I mean that is the type of thing where you have to figure out, like, you can also, if you think they chase the starter early, you could get a couple more at bats than you would expect against whoever they bring in relief.
Bryce is going to be in the 2-hole probably too, would be my guess.
Yes.
And if he's not, he'll be in the 3.
it's hard to envision him anywhere.
They put him in the 3 in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, it's hard to envision him.
Or is it
anywhere.
4? Either way, he's going to get a good amount of at-bats if you want to place a home run prop.
Yeah. Yes, and that's what you're looking for. The higher in the order, the more likely you are to get at least one extra at-bat in comparison to the guys in the bottom half, and that's always something fun to look at. I think I'm going to spend the year finding new and inventive ways to make bets on Bryce Terang. That's how in I am on him. I think like Silver Slugger is a potential for him. I think he's got 30-30 potential. Like that, the type of year I think he could be a ton of fun and something that we're all going to be talking about throughout the course of the year. And plus 600 bet on a home run on opening day, boy, that would be a lot of fun.
I'm looking here as I scroll down to Sal Frelick and other names. I mean, right now they only have the over 0.5, and I'm sure more will be loaded up tomorrow as the lineups come out and you get closer to the game.
Yeah, I think the uncertainty is just we don't know for sure.
And you can get some total bases, right? If you think Terang's going to have two singles or even a double, it gets you over that 1.5 number that usually is out there. Like, those are the creative ways I think you can take advantage of Bryce's numbers early until they start catching on.
Yes, yeah, that's always the fun thing, is to find the guy that your horse to start the season, because these numbers in baseball, it takes a while for this stuff to move, because you could be a hot streak that lasts a week. Or it could be, hey, this is a new player. This is a different guy. This is one of the premier players in all of baseball now. And that's the thing that I would love to bet on and to be along for the ride for it, not just as a fan, but profiting from it as well.
I do want to take one last look here to see if there's anything that is intriguing before the lineups come out. I guess when you look at Mizorowski, nothing pitcher props I see here.
Yeah,
you can get
strikeout.
the over 6.5 strikeouts is -159. But if you're on the other side of the coin, if you think it might be a limited start, you can go. Over 6.5 is +118. Under 6.5 is 159. Man.
It's fun,
That's fun plus money on opening day.
Right, and the reason the numbers are that way is we just don't know how long he's going to be in a game or what version of the Miz we get. There was, as we saw towards the second half of the regular season.
He was 4.25 as an ERA last year.
He was very inconsistent. He'd look great for 3 innings, and then he would walk the first batter, and then everything would blow up, and he'd give up 6 runs. And you'd be like, well, there goes everything that we just saw. Has he matured?
It was like the one inning where it's like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen?
Has he stretched out the arm enough at this point in the season? Are they going to keep his innings down in the early part of the season and ramp him up as he goes to try and, on both ends, try and save him and have him for an appearance in the playoffs? I don't know. The thing is, they have a off day on Friday, which gives them a little more ability to, stretch out some of those arms and not have to be too concerned. So if they did want to bring in somebody in the 4th or the 5th,
like an Ashby.
Yeah. That's exactly where my mind went. I can't get Aaron. He's a good pitcher. I saw way too much of that guy. I think we need to keep him on the shelf in opening day.
He's going to be front and center on opening day. All the big moments last year at American Family Field, he was starting it off.
It was just, it's no fault of his. Let's put it that way. It's just too much of him. So I'm interested to see how they handle him and sort of what they do with him, because he had some, even when he first came up, he had some very brief starts. Even when he was pitching well and humming, they were rather protective of it. I don't know if that's going to be the approach on opening day or not.
Yeah, it all depends on the pitch count. It really does.
I just watched the worst interception I've ever seen in the XFL conference. Is this live?
It is not live. It is the XFL Conference Championship between.
I don't know what their season is.
The St. Louis Battlehawks and the DC. I couldn't tell yous. It is an opportunity, Josh, as well for us. I think it's coming up next is Thursday, and end the show. It's Friday. It's the NCAA tournament. It is games for you to watch and enjoy with all the baseball, all the basketball on your TVs here at Potawatomi Sportsbook. So we go through all of those with you next on the Weekly Wager.
We're back talking bets after this on the Weekly Wager on 94.5 ESPN.
Looking for a dinner that actually impresses and cocktails that keep the conversation going? Head to the second floor of St. Kate the Arts Hotel and discover the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails. Bold, elevated dinners, thoughtfully crafted cocktails. It's the kind of place where every plate and every pour is made with intention. Come for dinner, stay for another round. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Wisconsin, let's keep this simple. If you've been patiently waiting for Yuengling to finally make its way here, thanks for hanging in there. If you believe a beer tastes even better after shoveling the driveway, mowing the lawn, or putting in an honest day's work, well, you're our kind of people. Wisconsin, it's finally here. Yuengling, oldest brewery in America, family owned and operated for 6 generations, and now officially in Wisconsin. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
From office lunches to family celebrations, Cousin Subs has the crowd-pleasing catering you need. Choose from customizable party boxes, individual box lunches, fresh-baked cookies, and our classic party chips. Everything you need to satisfy any size group, big or small. Ordering is easy online or on the Cousins app, so you can focus on the fun, not the food. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Feeling lucky? Then roll into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee this March for Lucky Rollers. Every Thursday, we're giving away over $70,000 in prizes. Play with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries, and you could roll out with $550 in reward play. Or get lucky and win your share of $16 grand in cash. Lucky Rollers, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Raise your hand if you're excited about feeling older faster than you should. Yeah, I didn't think so. If you're feeling pain that makes you feel older than you are, there's good news. QC Kinetics patients here in Milwaukee are getting relief, feeling younger, jumping back into life at full speed, and it didn't happen in an operating room. Dr. Caravelli and the team at QC Kinetics and their medical professionals use the latest in regenerative treatments, backed by real science. Treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your body and concentrate them right where you need relief. Nothing makes it more real than hearing the real stories behind QC Kinetics. Mike is training for a marathon instead of giving up running. Kathy walked around Disney with her grandkids. Alan is back to work, now climbing ladders like no big deal. All real QC Kinetics patients. The sooner you start treatment, the sooner inflammation eases, and the sooner the joint damage slows down. Find out if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics and their regenerative treatments. Your visit and consultation is absolutely free. Give them a call now at 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298.
You're listening to the Weekly Wager live from Potawatomi Sportsbook on 94.5 ESPN and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Still some action for you to get on. One of the greatest basketball tournaments in the world is happening Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but we can only stick to what we know, and that is Thursday and Friday's games. Weekly Wager live from Potawatomi Sportsbook. Ben Bruss, Josh DiMaggio, Chris Larson running the show. We start with the 6-10 game, which if you are going and enjoying opening day, it might look a little different on your television for you, but The Texas Longhorns have made it to the Sweet 16, and they play Purdue, the 2 seed. The 11 seed plays the 2 seed. Texas is plus 7.5. I like one thing and one thing only in this game.
First thing we need to discuss is the great week we had on this program last week.
I killed it on Sunday, meaning I killed the great week we had on Sunday.
I did invest in Texas Tech and have a little issue there, but you know what makes it easier is the plus 700 Texas to the Sweet 16 that we spent a lot of time talking about on this program, which ended up coming true. I say all that to say I've been a Texas guy. I was behind them the first 2 games, and now I'm out and I'm on Purdue.
Okay. Made the money, and that's what you got to do is you can't become emotionally attached to things that you want to happen.
Right, because you look at this game, you look at plus 7.5. Is that what they're at?
Yep.
Still, you look at that and you go, well, this team's been so hot. They've been great. They've been along. They've been doing everything they need to.
Who's hotter?
Yeah, and then you look at Purdue and go, well, they've been pretty damn good too, and I'm going to bet on the team that has been better throughout the course of the year. It was a fun run, and good for everyone in Texas. I had a blast winning money betting on them. Even got in on some of the player props. That was also a lot of fun. But hey, every good time comes to an end. They were a play-in who made it to a Sweet 16, and that's awesome. But
usually doesn't go far beyond
Right,
that. The only time it has, I think, was UCLA and VCU.
Yeah,
as play-in teams.
Give me everything Purdue. I like them.
They're either going to the Final Four or they're losing based off history.
Yeah. So
and the Final Four is way less likely based off the 12 or 13 play-in teams that we've discussed on this program that have made it this far.
Yeah, so I'm on Purdue.
Like, this isn't UCLA, by the way. When
Right.
UCLA went to the Final Four, they had Johnny Juzang and Jaime Jaquez and some real talent that was being looked at in the NBA. I think they have one potential NBA talent, but this is Sean Miller's really first stint here in Texas where he's been able to do something and something to build upon for that program. It's hard for me because I have Texas in my January Calcutta that I do. So I can't pick a side here. I would like to hedge, but I can't because I'm not laying minus 385 on Purdue because they are too much money to have to lay money. Because I'd be shooting myself in the foot. The intriguing thing to me is the under 185.5. Sean Miller's teams typically defend. Purdue hasn't been that great defensively throughout the course of the year, but they have been better as of late. You don't win the Big Ten championship without playing better defense. So I would probably say my only lean here is the under, and I look forward to watching Texas hopefully do something that we don't expect to have happen. Iowa, Nebraska. Plus 1.5 is Iowa against Nebraska down in Houston where they're sending a bunch of Busch Light because the corn is meeting the corn. Your early thoughts on this one, Josh?
My early thoughts on this one is all signs have been pointing towards you should be betting on Iowa on this one. Sharp money's been on Iowa. Some of the projection systems have been on Iowa. I guess I went into a gut feeling that Nebraska sort of ends this run for them. And what makes it interesting is obviously two familiar teams with one another.
I think both their matchups were grinders.
Yes.
Which the over-under reflects at 131, which is the lowest of the week.
I probably, if I have to pick a side, I probably take the points with Iowa because I think it's going to be very close. And you do still have the margin a little bit there because I don't think either of these teams is really going to have much of an opportunity to run away with a game. They've had some, close grinders, both of them. I like taking the points here and just sort of living with that and hoping for a close game.
Nebraska lost to Iowa 57-52 at Iowa, and they won 84-75 in the second to last game of the year, and it was much closer than the score indicates. That was Nebraska pulling away in the second half. I think I'm intrigued because I think Nebraska just has a little bit more talent. I think Iowa's well coached. They're going to cut the possessions down. They're going to control the tempo. But in these games, outside of Sturch, their point guard that came with, I'm blanking on the coach's name, I've seen a million times, Ben McCollum, I think it is, was at Drake with him. He brought him over to Iowa. Outside of him, I trust their big guy Mast a lot more, Nebraska's big guy Mast. Sam Hoiberg, if he stays out of foul trouble, can be a pest to Bennett Sturtz, the point guard at Iowa. And Price Sanford has played really well as of late, shot it well. But that could change when you play a defensive-oriented team on a high-volume shooter where it's like, we're going to make everybody but Price Sanford beat us. That's where I think Mass could be the difference. Nebraska's big in this game. So I lean Nebraska.
This is probably just a stay away for me, or if I do bet them, it's probably I take the underdog plus the money, put it with something, and just see what happens type of bet. I don't have as much conviction as I do about the next two games we're going to talk about this one.
Well, Arkansas is plus 8.5 against Arizona. This is a don't overthink for me. It looks like you should take Arizona based off the line, but I think you got to take the talent that Arkansas has and the athleticism and size that they have, because you know who doesn't shoot threes well? Arizona. They do the majority of their scoring inside, going to the rim, getting offensive rebounds. Arkansas has the athletic ability to stay with Arizona for a full game, plus a cuff. Like, all their games recently have been close, even in the SEC championship final, right? Like, it took a little bit later down the stretch. I like Arkansas plus 8.5, despite probably being the side that the public is on.
Yes, it very much is the side the public is on. But as we've seen a billion times throughout this tournament and throughout the long history of it, sometimes it just takes one guy to be that guy, and that guy very clearly this tournament has been Acuff. He's had 30 points and 24 points, which is just single-handedly the type of guy that's going to keep you in.
He averaged 25 in the SEC.
Which is going to keep you in any game. He also, in the SEC semifinal, he had 37 points. Now, certainly, I think Arizona's much better than Oklahoma.
They are much better on defense.
But I do think he's the type of guy who, if he has even a slightly better than average day for himself, that's where things get tight and things get a little crazy. And I do think I like the Arkansas, and we'll be the public donkeys on this one. And I think I'm okay with that.
Illinois plus 3.5 against Houston. This is an amazing game if you make it to 9 o'clock on opening day. This is the best game of the entire Thursday-Friday slate, hands down.
Yeah, I love this game, and I love it because I want to bet on Illinois, and I want to bet on them to make the Final Four. I am all over them. I had them early in like the whole bracket thing to go. I've been on their side. Is Houston fully healthy yet? Do we expect them to be? Who are they missing, or do I have that wrong on the player that they were?
I think you're thinking of Iowa State. Right now.
You're right.
Yeah.
Red
Houston's
team,
healthy.
Red, yeah.
Fleming's a potential lottery pick. Sharp is a all-time leading three-point scorer. I am on Houston. I love Calvin Sampson. I have no fighting the dog on anything other than
fighting the dog. You've been good today.
I've been so good.
I
have no allegiance to either side.
I'm writing the story, and maybe I'm ahead of myself.
You're very giddy on Illinois, as you should be. Like this is an Elite Eight game in the Sweet 16, so I don't think it's as easy as like Illinois. I can't wait to do it. I would caution on being like, oh, it's Illinois. Houston. Calvin Sampson's made it 2 Final Fours in the last 3 years.
Yep.
And his teams play so damn hard, and they have more offense than they've had in years past that can keep up with Illinois. That over-under at 140 is going to. This is going to be an awesome game. This is going to be an awesome
well,
game.
I hope you can report to me what happened, because I definitely will be asleep and not able to watch this game.
I won't report. You can wake up to it.
That is one of the pleasures, is having a little cashola on a game. and waking up and having it go your way.
When it goes your way,
right.
yes, it's great.
It's a real sinker when it doesn't go your way.
Oh, man, I got to go to work.
Yeah. But when you wake up and go, I didn't even have to stress this. I didn't sweat this out. I just wake up a little more richer today. Those are always fun. I'm writing the story in my mind of like, this is the year everyone has to talk about the Big Ten and how well they did in the tournament. And I think Illinois is going to be part of that.
Well, it's on to Friday's games next on the Weekly Wager.
More bets coming up. This is the Weekly Wager on 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
It's always good when you have the madness. We don't care if you love Cinderellas or don't like Cinderellas, if you like the big boys or the little boys. This weekend once again proves without a shadow of a doubt March Madness and college basketball is the best when it comes to sporting events in terms of intrigue. You don't know what's going to happen, and when you expect something, it still feels like it's an unexpected thing. So many different storylines happening this weekend, and I knew it was going to be a competitive NCAA tournament. That's what happens when you're in the land of NIL and transfer portal all coming together in a lot of money harmony or disharmony. But so many of the great games we got in endings, like Vanderbilt versus Nebraska or Kansas versus St. John's or High Point almost getting past Arkansas, it's always special in March Madness. If you thought NIL and transfer portal was going to take that away, you were sadly mistaken. Once again, a weekend like this proves that March Madness is the best in the U.S. In 60 seconds, a big deal in Seattle.
ESPN is now the home of MLB.tv. If you have the ESPN Unlimited plan, you'll get a $15 discount on the 2026 seasonal MLB.tv package. And if you don't, no problem. When you sign up for MLB.tv, you'll receive a 1-month free trial of ESPN Unlimited. Cancel anytime without losing your MLB.tv access. Get in on the action at stream.espn.com/MLBTV.
ESPN Unlimited auto renews at $29.99 per month after free trial unless canceled. Blackouts and other terms apply.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, wide receiver of the Seattle Seahawks. Take a bow. Can the brother spare a million or millions, signing the richest deal for a wide receiver in the history of the National Football League? You know who was paying attention to that deal? A team called the Dallas Cowboys. You know who else was paying attention to that deal? A guy like George Pickens right now, franchise tagged by said Dallas Cowboys. No matter where Jackson Smith and Jigba is in terms of the hierarchy of the best wide receivers in the National Football League, what he's been able to do, making things better and winning a world championship, 4 years, $168+ million to be the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history, he earned that bag many, many times over. But for other people looking to get their money, Jackson Smith and Jigba has just set the price. We'll see what kind of owners may want to match or not match it with their wide receivers. For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman of ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry.
Ben Brust here for the Princely Club. If you're looking for your better tomorrow, you know where to go. It's the Princely Club. If you're looking to grow, it's also the Princely Club, because they will cheer for you in all areas of your life. The best way to do that is to start a foundation of having a healthy body, and your growth will start from there. With the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, they provide everything for you to reach your goals. Start your better tomorrow today and grow in all areas of your life at the Princely Club. Join for a better tomorrow.
The Island Resort and Casino welcomes you to another unforgettable golf season at Sweetgrass and Sage Run. Beginning in July, stay and play guests can preview the brand new 9-hole Cedar course, inspired by the golden age of golf. At the Island, your golf trip becomes a full resort experience with relaxing spa treatments and exceptional dining to thrilling casino action. Courses open May 1st. Plan your golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
This is the Weekly Wager live from Potawatomi Sportsbook on 94.5 ESPN and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
You buy one, we buy the other. Thanalysis Live, one of the biggest nights in Wisconsin sports is this Friday. You're not going to want to miss out. You buy one ticket, and ESPN Wisconsin is going to buy the other. You got to be there. Everyone will be talking about it after, but you can be talking about it during and after. March 27th, Thanalysis Live is unpredictable with Thanasis and surprise guests. TALiveshow.com is where you get your tickets. Enter code ESPNWIBOGO. That's ESPNWIBOGO when you check out. ESPNWIBOGO at TALiveshow.com. The stars will be out, and you should go. Buy one, get one for Thanalysis Live, March 27th, the Riverside Theater, TALiveshow.com. ESPN Wisconsin BOGO. ESPNWIBOGO is your code. Ben Bruss, Josh DiMaggio with you. Chris Larson running the show. It's the Weekly Wager as we wrap up the Friday games here for you. St. John's and Duke. St. John's plus 6.5 against the Duke Blue Devils. Duke.
That's where I'm at.
Duke.
I was on Duke on Saturday. That one worked for us. I think we're just gonna have to be on Duke's side, and then we can make a decision in the national championship game if we want to beat them. That's just
no. I think that's a little too far. I think if you look at the Final Four game potential of what is now, unfortunately, Nebraska, Iowa. I think the winner of Illinois and as we were just talking, Illinois, I'm blinking in Houston, that would be an amazing game.
Yes.
So whatever that matchup is in the Final Four, I would say you might want to think twice before just going Duke to the final. But yes, it's Duke for me here. St. John's is a good story. There's still a 5 seed for a reason. I want to keep that in mind here.
I do think they were probably too low ranked, but this is Duke. That's St. John's. It's different worlds. They might have a better chance had they not played Duke along the way. You know, you could make a case, hey, Elite Eight with a chance to, but it's not going to happen here.
This one is actually really tough for me. Alabama, Michigan, minus 9.5 is Michigan. Michigan has played really great.
Yeah.
In Alabama, I still don't believe in. I don't think they're going to win this game. But damn, Nate Oates has found a way to get his team to play well in the tournament. I also thought they had a really easy draw.
Yep.
So that's why this is so high. I think it's the right number. I probably lean Michigan here.
I'm a Michigan.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Alabama shoots their way into a tight game.
I'm on Michigan, and it does come with a caveat. I can't stand Nate Oates or the Alabama program. I don't particularly like Michigan either, but I do think they're good, and I think them and Duke are the ones that everyone's going to kind of be looking at the end, obviously with an Arizona in there as well. But I'm going to ride Michigan here.
Chris, are you going to be hate watching at 8:45 on Friday?
Going to be hate watching? Probably not.
You're not going to watch Michigan State and UConn and
I'm
hate watch
it,
Michigan
but I'm not
State?
going to hate watch.
Okay, all right. I don't buy that after you jumped in with your Jeremy Fears take. But pat on the back to you for being
It depends what the outcome of the Michigan-Alabama game is, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Michigan State plus 1.5 against UConn. UConn favored here. I have been preaching to the high heavens that I think Michigan State is fraudulent. And I think this is the game with a program and a coach that is equal, but I don't think this is your back-to-back champ UConn teams. No. But Michigan State has Jeremy Fears, and they got some threes out of a kid named Fort. That's just not going to happen. UConn's just such a better overall team than Michigan State this year. They have great bigs. They have a good point guard, but they got crappy wing play, and that will show up in this game. I think UConn might be my favorite pick of this entire Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, like we mentioned with Texas, I was all over them positively. Now I flipped on them. I was negatively over UConn, and now I'm on UConn's side. I love betting the UConn end of this. To me, it's sort of a fraud off because I do still think UConn's a little bit fraudulent and overranked. It's who's the bigger fraud, and I think Michigan's the bigger fraud. And I think
Michigan State.
Yes, sorry, Michigan State. And I think I think UConn ends up winning this one. It's opened as a pick. It's moved towards UConn. And I think that's the right way.
This this last game, obviously, Joshua Jefferson for Iowa State, I think is going to be a game time decision tomorrow, or I guess Friday. I hate a game time decision being announced on Wednesday.
Yeah,
I don't feel confident that he plays personally.
No, I think that's just sort of make the other team think he can.
Correct. The Matt LaFleur, yes. We'll see.
Right.
But that being said, I still like Iowa State minus 4.5. This Tennessee team has had a good run in the tournament, but they're not as good as the Tennessee. Like, if this Tennessee team makes the Elite Eight versus all the other great teams that Tennessee has, I would be shocked. Iowa State, like,
they've seemed like a buzzsaw.
They are, and they both teams guard. But Iowa State has Milan Momcilovic from Milwaukee, and despite him shooting 50% essentially from three, he's still doing. Do you know how hard it is to shoot 50% from three when everyone is like switching on to you and
when
like
everyone
not
knows you want to shoot threes
and shooting 50%? It is crazy. He will be the difference in this game from a scoring standpoint. So I'm on Iowa State here, but I just don't trust this Tennessee team.
Yeah, I think we're going to, and I think we've sort of ended up on this side a lot, is this is where the real separation happens of those elite programs, those top-end programs, and the good stories, the good teams, the fun stories. Like, it's been fun to watch Tennessee. It's been fun to watch Texas. But there's levels to this, and there's very stated levels. And I think we're going to kind of, at the end of the day, we're going to look across the board. It's going to be like, yeah, that's a lot of 1 and 2 seeds who cruised to their spot in the Elite Eight.
And that was the way the Final Four ended up last year. And with this NIL era, this is where the difference is in these type games.
This is where depth matters. This is where overall like elite talent matters. Earlier in the tournament, you saw some fun back and forth games, but this is where the big dogs separate themselves.
The ones we are aligned on is Arkansas, Duke, UConn, and Iowa State. The rest are up to you to figure out. It's been the Weekly Wager live from Potawatomi Casino Hotel's amazing sportsbook. Make sure you stop on by tomorrow for opening day. You have a ton of basketball Thursday night as well as Friday, as well as a bunch more baseball on Friday. Everything you need is right here at the sportsbook. For Ben Bruss, Josh DiMaggio, Chris Larson running the show. You have Thanalysis Live with the Thanalysis replay coming up next. TALiveshow.com for Friday.
Bogo.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in.